How's it hanging, YouTube? This is King of Feral Imps, and today I guess I have a random deck, Dustin's. You've probably seen this deck before, so I guess this will be my build. Mostly, I'm between decks, so I'm going to be profiling this today. And, yep. So first of all, most likely, you'll know the 3 House Duston. It's a light, level 1 fiend monster. Abysmal stats, 0 attack. But it's the effect that you're going to want. When this face-up card is destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, you can then special summon as many Dustons as possible to both sides of the field. But you have to summon an equal amount. So this is, of course, the main piece that just sets everything off. And then, of course, from there, I am using 2 of each Duston, which is fairly standard, I guess. Basically, they all have negative effects. They can't be tributed. You can't use them for Xyz or Synchro material. They basically take up space. And when they're destroyed, they get different effects. I don't know if they really matter. I know red burns you for 500 if you control it when it was destroyed. Green, it spins when your card's back. They all get, different negative effects, but for the most part, your opponent's going to have these, and you're going to destroy them. And so your opponent's going to get little negative effects. They all have 0 attack as well. So that's mostly the point of all of these, to give them to your opponent and give them those negative effects, or, different things from there. And then just 1 star Dustin. His effect is you can only special summon him from your hand by sending Dustons you control to the graveyard. So the cost is a little different. You can, of course, use these to get this effect off. Then he gains 1,000 for every one of those Dustons you sent. And while he's face up, your opponent can't activate any of their set cards, their set spells or traps. And they cannot flip or special summon any monsters. So he's a good little lock, but only using 1 because the most you can get him up to is 4,000. Maybe, or technically 5,000. But generally it's going to be 4,000, maybe even 3,000 sometimes. So that's just kind of, it's kind of like a little added bonus if you can draw it. It's not exactly the main point of the deck, but it does help. That is it for the Dustons. From there, additional monsters include the 3 Goblin King. Now he's a level 1 monster as well, 0 attack, but he gains 1,000 for every other fiend on the field. So if you get to the point where each player has 4 Dustons, you summon him, he's up to 8,000, and if your opponent has an attack position Duston, you can go ahead and attack for game. So that's pretty much the OTK with this little guy, but not always going to get that off exactly. You can get some big damage with him, of course, so that's why he's here. He's most of the power. And then I'm using 3 Battle Faders because with this deck, you're going to need some stall and some draw, since pretty much, since most of your deck is going to be a dead draw, you're going to need your good cards, quick and fast, so that's why I'm using the Battle Fader, and then of course comboing it with Card D, because these 2 guys are best buddies. Battle Fader works better than Swift Scarecrow because you do play Where Art Thou, so that kind of helps to, add that. And of course he is a fiend, so Goblin King gets a little boost off of him. And that's all for monsters. Now for spells, just some 1-ofs. Regeki, 1-for-1 to summon whatever you need, either the Goblin King or the House Dustin, whichever you don't draw. 1 Day of Peace, more stall draw. I'm using 3 Pot of Duality because you can use it with card, so you won't always special summon. So going Duality, card, Battle Fader. If you can get that off, then that's great. And you won't really special summon unless you're making the big play. That's pretty much going to end the game, but that helps out. Next up is 3 Where Art Thou. Most likely you'll know what this does, but in case you don't, if you control a level 1 monster, you can activate this and add a level 1 monster from your deck to your hand, but you take 2,000 damage if you don't normal summon that monster. So it helps with, say you have the Battle Fader on the field already, you can go ahead and add your House Dustin and make your play with that, or if you're able to get either, if you happen to have either the Goblin King or the House Dustin on the field, then you can go ahead and get this and get the other one that you need. Something to help out is the 3 Photon Lead. This is kind of my way of, say, normal summoning Goblin King and then using this to special summon your House Dustin. So that definitely helps. Although I don't have the 3 double summon, so you definitely could use that to replace this. And in fact, please do, because you can only use Photon Lead on a House Dustin and not Goblin King. So that's the basic theory. So, you know, summoning the Goblin King, going where art thou to bring out House Dustin, Photon Lead, special summon House Dustin, and then OTK from there. And the 2000 that you take at the end won't matter. But like I said, get double summon. Double summon is just a bit harder to find because I think it was only printed in a structure deck and something else. But that's the basic idea. I was playing Shining Angel at one point in which Photon Lead would help out. So yeah, but mostly double summon will work. And then from there, the 3 creature swap, because like I said, pretty much every monster you draw is going to be a dead draw. Well, not this guy, but most of these guys are going to be dead draws. So go ahead, normal summon them, creature swap them over. Additionally is a Mystic Box to kind of act as a 4th creature swap. What you can do with Mystic Box, though, is once you get 4 Dustins on each side of the field, you can go ahead and use this, give your opponent a 5th one, and destroy their 1 monster that they have on the field to trigger House Dustin's effect. And, you know, that's pretty much the spells. All there are for traps are 3 traps done to make sure you get your stuff off. There is no real extra deck, but of course you could just use like rank 1s. Really, all you could use for the rank 1s are the House and the Battle Fader. Maybe even Goblin King too, but that's about it. But, you know, some useful things, of course, Dullahan, Slacker Magician, hashtag Young Utopia, maybe even Protect Baby Dragon. Yeah, Dullahan's the most useful, though, because sometimes most of the times I'll normally summon the houses to my side of the field after I get one of their effects off. So I can go into Dullahan and get some extra damage in there. And, you know, that's just very useful. That's it for the extra deck. You don't really need one, though. So that has been it for this Dustin deck profile. You know, just a fun little deck. Like I said, I'm in between decks, but it's a fun little thing. Interesting fact, every Dustin, except for House and I believe Star, was short print. So that's just a neat little thing with these little buggers, of course. It's really fun. It's really neat. I almost wanted to play White Dustin to allow myself some extra Xyz power, but in the end, I really just needed more to help draw. And also, you could also try out the Stygian Street Patrol, just because that's a little better. It's searchable off 1 for 1. Where art thou? It's just that one is a little harder to get as well, because it was only printed once. And I actually think it was only printed in the video game with, well, when you buy the video game. I don't know. Anyway, this is a fun deck. Don't attack these buggers and destroy them, because then you'll just fill up with all the dust everywhere. Yeah, that's... So, you know, if you enjoyed the content, remember to subscribe and also leave a like and a comment to show your support. Let me know if you have any neat or fun, cheap, random, between deck ideas for me, and maybe I'll try those out. So anyway, this has been King of Feral Imps. Have a nice day.